What's a scab?
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses.
You don't seem to like them that much.
Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to scab. Or I guess scared, maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something.
Have you tried talking to them?
We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Big guy. He means the leader of the scabs.
I'm not a scab, I'm a cop.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money.
Psst. Show him your stolen card. Now has arrived the perfect moment.
Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the wild north? Come to see the strife?
Show him the stolen card.
The man looks at the colorful piece of plastic, then at you, then back at the card, then at you again.
But that's not you, officer.
It's an old picture.
From back when you were not a cop, but a heavy-set, dark-skinned dock worker named Santiago Jean?
Yes.
Highly unlikely. I've known John for several years now. Also, you told me you're a cop, remember? How did you get his shift card?
What are you talking about, Ravi? What's new? Ah, colony ship. I've seen it. I've seen it.
Now you're in a mess. The time hath not arrived. Sorry.
Found it on the ground with the whirling Rex.
Oh, John's been out drinking himself blind again? He should watch his step, that John. Can I have the card?
No, it will prove useful still. Believe your thieving fingers.
Cards and evidence on an ongoing investigation.
Oh, is my friend in some sort of trouble? Who knew?
Do you know where's the armor?
The little boy had it good on his promise.
What promise?
To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me, pardon the choice of words. Not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and the cop's in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes.
I wouldn't start a CRPG while I'm playing Disco, Rabbi. Maybe once I'm done with Disco. We'll see, I don't know, I don't have a clue. But not now, for sure.
It's a minor nuisance. It's all good. I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part.
What sort of technical?
I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
Be careful, Rabbi. They say there's a new corona-type virus spreading around Europe. Be freaking careful.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia.
What about the leggings?
Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
I'm ambitious, I'm gonna find them all.
All of it? There are junior officers out there eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, but okay. Let's find all of it.
It's implied he finds it unlikely that you will succeed in this.
A mesquite epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you. No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
What's the strike about anyway?
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him for that.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Need to get past the gates.
Oh, good, good. What matters do you want to discuss with Everard?
I can't disclose any details of an ongoing case.
So mysterious, so intriguing. Either way, the road in front of you is wide and open. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
If it's so simple, why did the scab leader warn you of the guards blocking the way?
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in.
Measure here.
Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him. Then press the button to unlock the door. Then go past him again, and you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze rough.
Let's see what's gonna happen when I get there. The shit is locked, I'm quite sure of it. Sealed door. No lockpick. In case of a strike, press button behind the guard. Measure head.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Say nothing, size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, I'm Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me.
Puff out your chest, still say nothing.
What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity?
Merely standing up makes you sweat profusely. Your breathing is erratic. Your own heartbeat in your ears grows frantic, and you feel your blood.
It says we need more endurance for this. Do I got points? Dante, how you doing, Dante? Oh, you want comic books like Zagor? Level up. What will happen now, I wonder?
Yeah, Measurehead.
say nothing, size him up.
It must be frightening to
Pop
stand
out your
in
chest,
the-
you'll
What
say
is
nothing.
this? Androgynous.
You hear your heart pumping, fast and irregular. Your joints ache and you feel old, but still alive, somehow.
Stop it. You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman and your pedomorphic friend.
Pedomorphic, but
This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but it is a liability here on Battlefield Martinez.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
so in other words, having endurance doesn't change a freaking thing. I used to read those comic books when I was younger than everything. Commandant Mark, Zagor, Marty Mystery, Dylan Dog. I think on my language is different though. I think the literal translation for that comic book would be Black the Rock.
Nobody
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Dragon Arrow 2, yeah. I remember all of it. We had the same comic books, by the way. Exactly
is waning.
Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Yeah. The fat racist over there pointed racist lorry man. You're just him after pumping some iron. We're gonna do that.
Look at my chronology. I am the pinnacle of my haplogroup. The pink blob is a bad example, even of yours. It saddens me. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave
Internalize Meshached's race theory. He would take you as one of his own.
Wouldn't that mean I have to become a Siamese super racist myself?
Well, yes. Why? Don't you want to be a Seminese supremacist? So what if you're not Seminese? You can be anything.
Man, I can actually knock him out. Subscribe to his advanced race theory. I would rather knock him out.
We still need to get into the harbor. There's an interview to conduct. There must be another way.
Try the jump. Up there on the roof. It'll be worth it. Else there is little choice but to figure out a...
your race descent has only worsened since
Physical
I last
instrument.
saw you. You have really.
I think it
let
can work on
yourself go.
28%, it's not impossible. I wanna know what's gonna happen. And what if you fail?
How did this happen? Your little fist is in his giant hand and he's squeezing it. It hurts.
You must be out of your mind, degenerate drunk. Say it. I am a degenerate alcoholic.
Fuck you.
Your fist cracks in his hand like a ripe apple. Pain shoots up into your brain as he's twisting it more and more.
The words to the song have changed. Say,
No, I won't say
I
fucking
am
anything.
Your hand twists in his grip and the pain blinds you. Still you press the words out of your swollen mouth.
good. Now leave before you humiliate your homoerotic organization. any further.
Homoerotic organization any further. Yo, this fucking game. And what happens when we do this?
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
This is for the thing.
You are obviously a liberal, Sayolite. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of mycotechnology and your sartorial choices. Do not deny your friend the truth you have denied yourself. There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on?
Actually, yes, Doctor. One of my favorite things was Amiga, before Commodore. I have both Commodores, both 64 and 128. But Amiga was, for me, it was better. I don't know why. I believe I played Golden Axe first time on Amiga. Maybe that would be the reason. Commodore had shitty games, let's be honest here. Plus the tapes. They can fade away. The games could lag because of the tapes, you know. There was a lot of shit with Commodore. Amiga didn't have those problems. It was different.
Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidental receding genetic pool has led.
I'm gonna try to knock him out. But nothing beats the stick, okay? Nothing. I mean, for gaming. I don't want to invest points.
Your race
First I
descent
can
has
finish with
only
all of this.
worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Don't be such an asshole to your fellow duck worker. Show him the stolen ID card.
The man looks at you, silent and unmoving. His eyes burrow into the remnants of your soul.
You are not Santiago. Santiago is not you. Even the phrenically impaired can see this.
Do you know anything about this mug? Show him the mug.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Is this your kind of thing?
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it.
He had nothing to do with it. Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts mugs into trash?
Why are you not with Hardy Boys?
I am not.
What are those tattoos of yours supposed to mean?
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo.
Your raised
Work.
descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let
Wanna see if I can
yourself
even knock
go.
him out.
How did
Your raised descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself
Like it's 4%, not 42.
how did this
Your raised descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
how
It's gonna make me invest into this fucking thing just to pass.
Your raised descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go. Your raised descent has only worsened.
Holy shit,
since I
fucking
last saw
finally.
you. You have really let
Oh.
yourself go.
just like that, instinct took over. A solid strike straight into his throat, into the cartilage. You could swear you felt the soft palate break. The man is reeling, gasping for air. Time stands still around you. In the distance, the sounds of the harbor are falling silent. All you hear is a small gurgling sound as a trickle of blood appears on the man's lip. Now's the time for a spin kick. He expects the 1-2, not the 1-360. No, don't be a fucking ballerina. Rip into him. Right hook. Get intimate with him. Bring the hurt closer.
What should I do?
Don't wait. You've only got a millisecond. He's coming to. Time is breaking loose from the stupor. His left hand curls up into a fist. That fighting pose. Watch out. He's expecting the hook.
Back up and perform 360 flying spin kick.
The man lands with a dull thump, like a broken down puppet of muscles and sinew. For a moment, he still tries to keep his head up, dazed eyes looking at you with unimaginable surprise. To your left is the button.
Welcome to Revachol.
As you slam your fist on the button, the man collapses entirely, his head rolling to the side.
Looks like you're the new measurehead now.
No one is the new measurehead. Let's go before he gets up.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Bruta.
Brother.
Evening falls. The time has come to take the vow.
Wow.
The vows are blood and flesh. Lower intestine. The term is metabolic and circulatory system. Fascism, Brota.
What is fascism?
Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revachot's problems?
Financiers.
Yes, them, but also women.
Woman. Woman.
Women, men of Wu, you don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Wu men need to go back to the fucking kitchen. That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that Wu men need to know their place. Stomach truth. You're having a stomach truth.
Stomach truth. Why am I getting this?
Because you've said the hard things that others won't say. The good things, you've said them many times.
Fascism sounds so bad. What do we call it? Something else, like traditionalism.
Okay, yes, let's
Okay.
call it that. Good thinking. That sounds much better. Traditionalism. You like the sound of that.
Traditionalism. Proceed with fascism.
You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, Brota.
Shit, man, this game. Keep women in the kitchen. Up 10.
For the nation, smart. Best not to mention the women too often. That's why you're the head and I am the stomach.
Fascism is about industry and politics and nationhood, not women. Absolutely okay with women.
Of course you are, Bruta. Of course. A wink-shaped growl sounds from your ass.
He bloody farted. Yo.
Actual art degree.
Man.
Trite, contrived, mediocre, milquetoast, amateurish, infantile, cliche and gonorrhea-ridden peon to conformism. I fucked me. Affront to humanity. War crime. Should literally be tried for war crimes. Resolutely shit. Lacking in imagination. Uninformed reimagining of. Lip-wristed, premature, ill-informed attempt at talentless fuckfest, recidivistic shit peddler, pedantic, listless, savagely boring, just one repulsive laugh after another.
Can't shake from anger how shit it all is. Passive heal +1 morale, give 10 XP. Unlock. Yes. Revasholian nation. That's about fascism. Revashol is in ruins. Therein lies. Man, absolutely hilarious this game. It's absolutely fucking hilarious.
The man is still knocked out.
Robocop. So what have I done now? Have I opened the door or what? Oh, I opened the door. Here we go. Fume.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
Antlers.
Because white antlers are one of the symbols of communism, they represent a society in accord with the natural world and at the same time above it. Because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see.
Flick through the pages.
To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. No advertisements, you notice. So who's funding this radical commentary? After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections. International development, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Read the editor's note.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée, unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel. La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. Perhaps they've overestimated the market demand for this kind of commentary. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Kim, I think this is a communist magazine.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Catch up on international developments.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd.
Yugograd.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bear wrestling. Flip back to that.
Let's see what the bear wrestling is all about.
It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative in the People's Republic of Samara, SRV, devised and promoted by none other than President Kanajinsky himself.
You really think they're gonna make big changes for Mass Effect? Come on. That ain't gonna happen.
According to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, as he's affectionately known to his people, has recently decreed bear wrestling the national sport of the SRV. Based on the description in this article, he appears to be an extremely competent and democratically elected president. Sapormat Sport Kanajinsky is well into his third decade as president of the SRV. Outside Samara, he's known for three things: brutal repression of internal dissent, monumental corruption, and a near pathological obsession with physical fitness.
Oh, you wanna say that Mass Effect 1 now looks like Mass Effect 2 and 3, yeah? There ain't a change at all.
Don't forget the mustache. Right, like all Samaran men above the age of 40, President Kanajinsky wears a truly spectacular walrus mustache. It's quite straightforward. A standard match features one man, or in some cases woman, against one bear. Two competitors, one ring, 5 rounds, or until incapacitation. According to the SRV's Ministry of Information, the program has been a tremendous success. Public support stands at 87%, and youth obesity and alcoholism rates are down 12% and 7% respectively.
Guess it's hard to fight a bear if you're out of shape.
That's very much the idea. President Kaczynski has long maintained that a strong body is the best defense against capitalist aggression.
The Samaran People's Republic? No, I should expect not. Why do you ask?
I was thinking it might be fun to see a bear fight. To partake in a bear fight.
I suppose that would be something to see.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Constant culture. We do that.
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture. Obviously, because it's cool to drop random phrases in foreign languages. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective. The Tip Top Tournée is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and high death toll. In Revachol, it's held quadrennially on the prestigious Zero Carousel racing circuit.
Read the profile.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer. You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tourney. Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. So, all of it, basically.
Who wrote this?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines: Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. There's no way those are real names. Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms. Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tourney becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a Frita. And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
We are in it for the violence.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tourney is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Oh, come on. Can this article read your mind?
Seems to think so.
A certain kind of young man reads 1 or 2 books and suddenly thinks he understands the secret structures of reality. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dockworkers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous.
The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution, so long as it's only redistributed upward. It's true, the rentiers have been bleeding you dry. You really ought to find your own place one of these days. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Let's celebrate.
The 15th Indo tribe. Because there was. The 15th Indo tribe was comprised of 8 kids from Forberg and North Jamrock, running from wild dogs in the valley, hiding scents under rocks, and stealing clothes off clotheslines, and sometimes even the copper wiring of phone lines. You may have been one of them. This must be a childhood memory. The 15th Indo tribe was your Indo tribe, set to rule in Celinda. The rest of the kids are dead now. Car accidents and drug overdoses. Only you remain.
Plus 10 cents for every green orb clicked. Saver fare, raised to 6. This fucking thing is great with 10 cents. With every green orb clicked. Yeah. There are green orbs everywhere. Let me see. 387. 5397. Holy shit. Holy shit, nice. Postcard. Le Jardin 21. What is that? Can sell for a pretty penny.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Open.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders.
Browse.
Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara, and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry. The drawer slides. The file cabinet stands steady. Look how blurry.
72% that you fail like that. If you ask me, pasta seems healthier, eh?
The file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer slides out to green. Look how blurry all the...
Fucking hell, it's 72%. You know what I eat, Dante? This shit. To reduce weight. I lost 5 kilograms in, like, what? 20 days or so. You see this? I call it dust. I eat dust.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the... Look how blurry all the lines
It's
on
dust.
these papers.
Healthy. That's what it is. It's healthy. And it tastes like dust.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked... Look how blurry all the lines on these papers are. Our...
Are you shitting me? It's 72%. No, for real, I really lost a lot of weight in the last 15-20 days or so. I don't eat pizzas, burgers, everything that has to do with fast food I avoid. No sodas anymore. No Coca-Cola and similar bullshit. Nothing, like absolutely nothing. What I eat is fruits, vegetables, dust like this, okay? Seeds. Eggs. That's about it.
The file cabinet stands steady. Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer.
Look at the note.
It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
Let's be clear, Dante, I'm not doing it because of the crazy times or because I panic out of the virus or whatever. I'm doing it for myself. Because I got way too fucking fat. That's why.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list.
And you shouldn't eat meat. Because it's not organic. When you eat meat, you eat chemicals. You know. And your body needs days to process, like, I don't know, 300 grams of meat. Let's say half kilo of meat a day. It takes bloody 10 days for it to get out of your system. And that shit that gets stuck in your belly, in your intestines, produces a lot of different cancers and similar bullshit. You're good with 80 kilograms on that height. I'm 186. And let's say most of my life I used to be around 95 on average. Tops I got was around 100. Now I'm 85.
Remember, Leo, all items on the drawer slides shut smoothly.
There another breakthrough.
Rigorous self-critique.
Rigorous self-critique.
Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it.
Intellect and psyche. Check failures will heal morale. The others will heal health. Pain threshold is raised to 6. Not bad. Not bad at all. Fine, Dante. We got shades. -1 to drama. Basta, basta. So freaking easy to miss items.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up, as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisund on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard. Everard, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister? I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
What is it with you people and scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
You do be right.
Oh yes, born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then, too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No sir, those are just nasty rumours.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
What are you doing with the containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes I am, yes I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
Please work.
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo is all red in Union colors. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core. There appear to be cisterns underneath the Union container covers.
Leo, has anyone told you why you need to change the covers?
No, not really. Mr. Everett doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone.
What's underneath?
Oh, I don't know, mister. They say it's some chemicals. Most of them have labels on them, I think.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debarders Union logo on them.
Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all.
Where's everyone? The harbor is empty.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
What trouble did Titus and his friends get into?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off.
Did they kill someone?
No, I don't think they killed anyone. Let's better talk about something else. Titus and his boys do good work. I don't want to get them in trouble over a little drinking.
He probably doesn't know anything anyway. Who in their right mind would tell
You
him?
work here.
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town. And Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am.
Stay on this Miss Beaufort topic.
Oh, Lizzie, she is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly.
He respects that word. That's obvious.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood. Knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure. If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so. And she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she has.
Law school? Could she be talking about the union fixer, aka the gardener?
So he's the gardener.
Looks like it.
I'm not sure what a fixer is, but she is a real nice girl. Smart as a whip, too.
Telling the gardener you know her name might throw her off. Perhaps something to consider later.
Nice. You Leo who wrote the note to make more banners.
Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht.
What about the borscht?
Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
For the striking.
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags. Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Something's wrong about the borscht. Gonna look into it.
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
He didn't actually understand what you meant, and now he's just nodding along.
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Where's the leader?
Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys.
Where is he?
Oh, Mr. Everard is where he always is. In his office, of course.
That's your joint container on the right inside here. Okay.
Bye-bye now.
A lot of info from him. Where have I seen the button? Ah, there you are.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marche and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block. Allumer, on, éteindre, off.
On, march.
With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down. The harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled. Moving this container, of course. For this purpose it was built. For this purpose it has acted. And now it will rest.
I can't see how that was worth the records, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
Get over there. Open it. Well, Fjord in Arden. survival suit.
Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
You do? Because I don't. There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one?
Was hanging from a crane. Maybe there's contraband in there.
There may very well be, but we are not here to look for that. We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to interview the union boss.
Knock on the door.
No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside the container.
Open.
You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement.
We'll laugh, get it off the ground.
A rusting control panel. The crane does not return to its original position. It does not move at all. No screech of...
Well, we fucking broke it. Great. There's only Error now left, but I wouldn't do it immediately. There are things to do before I decide to go with him. A lot of things to do before I decide to go there. So what we can do now? I think I know what I'll do next. What's that? What? Talk to the union leader. Okay. But not yet. Once you get in, you need to talk with him. Oh, that fucking sucked. What do you mean, you order pasta? Make it on your own. It's with white flour, eh? What's wrong with it? Do you bloat out of it? I usually bloat out of pasta. It needs to be without flour. No going back until we deal with this. A one-way trip. Man, the freaking sound is like someone is ringing on my doorbell over there. And it's him.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
I'll get straight to the business. It's been a murder.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Why are you calling me Dubois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it.
I do
Filter
not
it
sit.
out.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions. I, too, have convictions. One of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
You're no Titan of Elysium, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Leave. Am I allowed to exit now? If I'm allowed to exit now, then we're good. I wanna level up, I wanna have a lot of points before I do this conversation. Dante, I know what they're doing with a flour, that's why I'm telling you, you need gluten-free flour, okay? And then you make pasta and pizza out of it. Tell me I can go out. This is a freaking joke. It doesn't let me out.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall.
Insert
A
that
note
sense.
the machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
Let your muscle memory dial a random number. Wait, can I do it?
The already
Okay.
familiar code. The already familiar code. Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952. And a moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers. 993. Calling. Calling. Still calling. Then
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. You rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy. How may I help you?
the voice of a youngster on the other end sounds as enthusiastic as that of a man walking towards the gallows.
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy.
Do you know me?
No. Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here. Maybe you call to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period?
I don't even know my name.
If you need any further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of Voyager and Main. I can't help you over the phone. Are we done?
The call is terminated by the other party. You're left.
Can we do it again?
The payphone hangs mute.
I can't bloody get out. Fucking game doesn't let me out. I need to speak with Everett. Enjoy Dante. Rockstar. Man, that conversation is gonna be pain.
Mr. Dubois, I hope time is on your side this time. Please, take a seat.
Take a seat.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you are a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Remain serious.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
Points to the check on his desk. Comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it. Yes, but you owe him for it.
You know Gart.
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.